Hello everyone and welcome to Katharine's Creatures. This is episode 79 and this is a series where we get to touch base and talk a little bit about various mythological creatures, beast beings, and the like pulled from lore worldwide. I always like to preface by saying that I'm not a linguist, so if I mispronounce anything along the way, I apologize in advance. Now with that said, let's get right to it. So today I wanted to go back to Greek mythology and talk about one of their many monstrous creatures that they have in that mythos. And today's creature of choice is going to be the Chimera. So the Chimera, again, is this fairly large beast creature hybrid. It's considered a hybrid creature. And it was a kin of several other famous mythological monsters, including Cerberus and the I think it's the Lernaean? I don't think that's how I pronounce it. The Hydra. And the child of two monster-making couple, Typhon and the Echidna. So this very prominent monstrous family. And the Chimera ended up living in and around Lycia, which is in Asia Minor. Sorry, I have my dog walking around in the background if you hear any clinks. And that's why the composition of the Hydra are animals that were found in that region of Asia Minor at the time. So what does a Hydra look like? This one may be a fairly recognizable mythological entity, being the fact that it has a very prominent look to it. It has a body, including the head of a big lion, usually depicted as a male lion, in the sense that it has a mane along with its head in a lot of the depictions. But it also has a second head that sprouts kind of along the back, either right behind or almost off to the side of the lion's head, and which is shaped of a goat. So you have two heads up front, the lion and the goat with the horns, and then going down its spine all the way to its tail, where the tail tip would be, where usually lions have the kind of little fluffy tip, would be a third head, and this one's of a serpent. So it's a three-headed monstrous entity, creature that, again, is the size of a lion, and lions are very large, and not only that, it could breathe fire. So that's terrifying. And this creature was raised by a couple men for purposes probably not for the best. And because of that, the king of Lycia wanted the creature gone. So in the famous story that kind of pertains to the Chimera, having this fire-breathing monstrous predator running amok, he essentially hires and assigns the hero let me see if I pronounce his name right. Bellerophon? Oh my goodness. This is the one that I can never remember how to pronounce his name. But he's a lesser known hero when compared to others like Hercules and Theseus and Perseus, but has a decent tale in the sense that part one of his fame is this fact that he had to go and try to slay the Chimera. Now again, being a giant predator, you have horns, you have teeth, you have serpent fangs, you have claws, and of course this ability to breathe fire. Very terrifying stuff. So how he figures out how to slay the Chimera is he ends up going after and taming the Pegasus. So the winged horse of Greek myth, he's the one who breaks Pegasus and makes the horse manageable, and uses the fact that the horse can fly to attack Chimera, which is limited to the ground. So he can avoid the flames and teeth and fangs and claws, and shoots at Chimera from up in the air, riding upon Pegasus's back, and is able to defeat this monstrous creature. Nowadays, that Chimera, when people refer to the name, they may be referring to this particular mythological entity, but also Chimera is now used to kind of like a category describer. So any kind of mythological or mythic or fictitious animals or entities that are comprised of various animals. So have multiple animal components to them. And we refer to those as chimeras. So these kind of fusion monsters. So that's another way the term is used nowadays. And the Chimera is actually a pretty famed creature back in Greek myth, being the fact that it was noted in some of the most recognized scripts and text, including the Iliad, Metamorphosis, Theogony, and even going through to the Roman side of things, the Aeneid by Virgil. So it is a very documented creature of Greek myth or Greek origin. So now if you have any questions about this or anything else, post them in the comments below or reach out to me on any of my social media. And until next time, Skål.